Hey guys, my name is DJ Agent M. I'm a hip hop DJ producer from the UK, and I buy a lot of native instrument stuff. I'm a big Machine user. A lot of my music is made with Machine, and last week, this Maschine Jam controller just came out of the blue for me. And a lot of people have been talking about it, and I just thought I'd like chip in with my own opinions on what I think it can do and what potential it is, and whether it's for me or not. But yeah, everything that I'm saying is from a hip hop perspective. A lot of videos that I've seen is from more of a controllerism, kind of electronic kind of perspective, and that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like the typical MPC kind of thing. But this is the thing. The thing is, a lot of people have been saying on the internet that this looks like Native Instruments version of Ableton Push. And to a certain extent, it does look like that. You can't deny it looks like that. But how it would work is kind of half of that. The performance side of things, yeah, it looks like it will work that way, and fair enough. You've got your little buttons, so you can use it like keys, and keep everything in keys. You've got these channel strips for effects. You've got all of these groups over here and stuff, so you can pause them and select which group you want, and then assign that with your channel strips, blah 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 blah. But the thing for me is the production side of things, how I would make beats, and how I know people that make beats like me use the Ableton Push 2. There's nothing in there. There's no screens to be able to manipulate samples and stuff like that. There's not enough knobs. Not to say that it can't do it, but for me, if this was to compete with Ableton, if this Maschine Jam is to compete with Ableton Push, you'd have to have those screens on there. Maybe they'll, in a year's time or 6 months, or even, I don't know, maybe they'll surprise us soon and do that. But that ain't what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this as a performance thing. And funny enough, I was thinking after I dropped my latest EP, which is the Uncanny, it was kind of like, well, do you know what? I've been making a lot of these beats and producing lots of songs and doing remixes and stuff, and it's kind of like, as from a DJ perspective, I go on there and sometimes I play my own beats and stuff, and get some ciphers going on in some jams and stuff. But as a producer, I've seen producers tearing it up with the Ableton Push, and the producers are the DJs, and I've seen that where they're manipulating the tracks like a DJ would, but they're playing their tracks, and it's kind of like, well, for what I use a Machine, how do I do that? And this Maschine Jam looks kind of interesting. The like I said, the proof is in the pudding when this thing comes out, because all I've seen so far is a lot of people just doing sort of like controllerism kind of thing, where they've used a step sequencer, they've made a few, press a few buttons, and they've made a few kind of sounds, and then they've manipulated it with the touch strips. But I've not seen anything kind of what would turn my head, as in how that would work for me. But like I said, when it actually comes out, which should be the first week of October, let's see what happens. But yeah, like I said, doesn't necessarily, and I can understand where people are coming from, because there are a lot of Machine heads that have just jumped ship and gone to Ableton because it could do what they want to do. They want it to do, and fair play to them. But yeah, what I want to be able to do with this is, like I said, it was manipulate all these stuff on stage. Right, so is this worth the money that you're going to pay? So for me in the UK, this is £319, and that's not a bad price. But the problem is, I think for loyal customers like loyal Maschine customers and native instrument customers, if you're a new customer and you've checked it out, maybe you got some demos and people have like, you know, said, oh, this is for you and stuff, you know that you kind of like this is a good price if you've not got any native instruments kind of stuff. So yeah, you might be saying to yourself, well, okay, £319, that's better price than the Maschine. I'm not going to be chopping up samples. I just want to get into it. I just want to, you know, use the expansions, you know, these one-shot samples and stuff, and manipulate it like, you know, whatever. That's fine. But if you're like me and you've got like the Maschine Mat 2 or the Maschine Studio, and you probably bought the complete, you know, complete 9, 10 or 11, then you kind of saying to yourself, I'm buying more of the same. Why do I say that? Well, there's nothing in this complete 11 select that is different from what you would have got with complete 9 or 10 really. Reactor Prism, got that. Scarby, Mat 1, got that. Monarch, got that. Solid Comp, got that. Massive, got that. Gentleman, got that. Retro. You know, if they're thrown in like Farm or, you know, one of the simps or whatever from complete 10, that would be a different thing. This complete 11 select costs £159. Right, okay. If you haven't got any of these sounds, that's brilliant. But if you've already got complete 11, or if, which I'm correct, well, the thing is, if you already bought Maschine Mat 2, then you're gonna have some of these sounds anyway. With the last upgrade that they've got, so that's a waste. What are you gonna do with, I don't know, 2 Monarchs and 2 Massives? What's the point in that? The other gripe is, we don't know whether this new software upgrade is payable or not. If it's payable, then you could put that, in my head I would knock off 100 quid in my head. I'd be saving 100 quid in my head off this price here. Does that make sense? Yeah. So in my head I'd be saying, right, okay, I want this upgrade, 2.5 upgrade that's going to use this Maschine Jam. Right, okay, so instead of buying that upgrade and then buying this Maschine Jam, I'll just get the Maschine Jam and I'm only paying 215. Right, if there's any more expansions that I want, where is it? Just to confirm. Then Maschine Jam, if you buy Maschine Jam, you get 2 extra Maschine expansions. Yeah, excuse me, I'm trying to look for these expansions. Yeah, so you get 2 free Maschine expansions. I don't think they tell you which ones you get.